This is the part where you bleed to death. It's over, lawbreaker. You're under arrest.
Hi everyone, I'm FNGR, and Saturday I put up a video showing that the Zoophile police on Twitter, at least one of their former admins, had taken to cutting themselves. YouTube didn't agree with that video. The video should be rehosted on BitChute. I've checked, it has by now. LioConvoy Reviews just did what he considers his first drama video. And to help brace you, I'm going to play this brief Family Guy clip of the mental image I saw when I watched LioConvoy's video.
Pick up your trash! I want to know whose cup this is! I said I want to know whose cup this is!
And I know what you're saying. It's not that horrifying. One, I do want you to look at it because I'm a terrible person, and it's utterly horrific nightmare fuel in my opinion. Two, it brings everyone up to date on the Zoophile police debacle. And three, one name leapt out at me, Jazz, or I think the name CyberAfter, or @CyberAfter on Twitter.
Hello, I am LioConvoy. Welcome to my new drama video format.
It's going to take some getting used to.
The fact that the initial thread linked to a completely different tweet altogether, but Bologna is dumb and can't be trusted. Did Patch drop bestiality porn? Yes, because Patch is poor and needed the money. Does that justify it? Absolutely not. But that's also why all the money Patch made on that was given to other artists in need. But Bologna never even asked for context, and never even initiated a call with Patch about it. Just threw up accusations and ran with it. The kicker? Patch already told everyone else on the team about it previously. Bologna is a newer recruit than Patch. Of course, that's not the real reason, as that was admitted to only be an excuse later. Apparently they were worried about the Zoophile police's rep, with Patch tearing into people they weren't necessarily concerned with. Oops! Really doing yourselves a favor there, aren't you, Scooter? But let's get into the people that sent this moron information. Let's start with CyberAfter. Going forward, we'll be calling her Jazz, since that's how I know her. Remember the claims about me threatening to dox Bologna? Some of that came from Jazz. And that's not the only thing here.
So, we're going to put a pin in this for right now. We're going to be doing a reading from Quinn Toki and some of their many magical experiences while working at Zoophile Police. Again, friendly reminder, to my understanding, the ZPD is under new management now, and if anything goes horrifically wrong, we'll all work together to try and fix it. At least I will, and I hope some of you guys do as well. Alright, screenshot 1. So here is the tea. The official Bologna is over party. Bologna is extremely abusive. First, Bologna was the one who reported Patches. She was gathering dirt on Patch for a while in order to mass report and expose them for things explained in LioConvoy's most recent video. Bologna also was hiding information when she made the infamous report, and nobody checked her. Was this partially our fault? Yeah, however, after a few hours, when LioConvoy confronted us in an interview recording posted by FNGR, hi, how you doing by the way, she gave us a false claim and announced falsely on Zoophile that LioConvoy was going to dox us. In actuality, Leo never threatened us at all, and is actually super pleasant to work with. Mother's more professional than me. After speaking to Bologna in private chat, viewing our aggressive and false taunting posts on ZP, I decided to take over the server. I removed her and Wendigo in order to straighten things. I stand behind this, as Quinn has been the person who's been willing to take the most initiative to try and fix things in order to straighten things out. I then received the message, see above, with Bologna attempting to intimidate me. The following occurred. Let's get to the second post here. I then received this message, see below, with Bologna attempting to intimidate me. The following occurred. Let's go to caption 2.5. We need to talk now. You can't intimidate me. What is it? I believe this is Bologna here. I'm not here to intimidate you, Quinn. Let me guess. You've been speaking to Coyote. Oh, that rascal. Quinn Toki, no. I haven't made contact with Coyote. When he was in Discord, I was at work. Bologna, I'm assuming this is Bologna, I would have assumed that you have been considering that Leo and the others seem to have wanted to decide what to do with ZP. So, we're clear, yes. I did delete your post shouting out your post where you continued on with the drama. I deleted every admin's post on Shiloh but 2. And we're ignoring this situation from this point forward. Alright, let's get back to this next part here. All lies and manipulative language. I did not want to make the post, but my idea wasn't to report Patch. I was missed going to remove them so that the ZP didn't look bad. However, Lucinia took over. 3.1 to 3.5, here's Quintoki. They want me to make decisions as they somewhat trust me, yes. But I haven't, as I firmly believe in democracy. I continued on with no drama. I made that post to make it clear that there were things you and Bell had hid from me, i.e. your intention behind getting rid of Patch, Balana. You put your opinions on your account and shouted it out with ZP. That's a continuation of the drama, Quintoki, and then I apologized for any drama I did to Patch, unintentional, Balana. And if you forget that we have logs for the admin chat. However, I'm not here to fight you, Quen. We're on the same side, Quintoki. That's threatening. What about the logs? We all jumped the gun, Quen. I'm 100% okay if you publish what I said. I don't mind. No, that's Quintoki, and here's Balana. You wanted to make the post, Quintoki. Yeah, I saw what you said, Balana. Anyways, enough of that. I'm not here to fight, Quintoki. I wanted to announce that Patch wouldn't work with us anymore. You called Patch an abuser. You published that thread like a report. Balana, you're not making any continuation of the Shiloh drama. We're not going to respond to Coyote and his band of trolls. Lol. We're not going to even acknowledge their existence. Well, that's certainly something. Here we are, the last one. I went along with what you said because that's my job. I didn't even know what you're talking about with Coyote. I was at work. Balana. Coyote is going after us to be spiteful, even though it was literally all me. He went after Wendigo and his friends and went after our fans. We're not going to acknowledge they exist. We're going to continue on as if nothing ever happened. Really bad at exposing people and only 3%. So here, I believe this is Bologna. Quen, why was I removed from the police station? New management. You sold us out, didn't you? Quen sold you out? Quen, Wendigo isn't even online, so yes, this must be Bologna. Quintoki, then I'll speak to her when the time comes. I was getting conflicting reports about, Wendigo's gender, but I'm going to assume that Quintoki knows and I don't. Bologna, let me guess, you changed the password to ZP. Quintoki, naturally. Ooh, that's a spicy meatball. Bologna, you don't even use the account. Quintoki, Lucinia, you have been removed from your position of power. And that's final. Whew! That must have really sucked. I believe Lucinia and Bologna are the same person. Wendigo got booted too. You don't get to make the decisions, Quen. In case you forget, Wendigo is the boss. That's interesting because when we talked to them the other day, it was supposed to be a democracy and there was no boss. Quintoki, then I'll speak to Wendigo. Bologna, I already have Quen. Quintoki, well, let me see what you said. You aren't required, of course. It says, you forgot what we're working for. It's kind of clipped here. Bologna, you didn't post about any predators. I've been most active, not you. Not Wendigo, me. Is your plan to burn the account, Quen? Power trip much? No. I got us working with the OG again. The OG who left because he had to pick a side. So Quen, in short, you're working with Coyote and completely forgot your position. Oh my. The political intrigue. Quintoki, forgot my position. You forgot what you're working for. Bologna, you don't post about predators. I've been the most active. Not you. Not Wendigo, me. Is your plan to burn the account? Oh no, I guess that's a loop. She tried to gaslight me. Hell yeah. I called Psychotivity a fucking pussy for abusing me. I believe, yes. Twitter of Lucinia. Bologna. Yeah, that's them. It's on their Twitter. I'll try to make sure that I include a link. In fact, I'll snap off a picture of that right now so that there's no misunderstanding. And snapped. Quintoki. You're tripping, fam. Power has gone to your head. Bologna. I'm not the one who booted the owner and the admin while you were gone. And go look at the ZPD's DMs with Wendigo. Bologna. You're on a power trip, Quen. Have I been saying Gwen? Jesus, Quen. You trust me, you won't last long. You'll push CP into the grave. I'd like to state this to anybody out there right now. If you are running some kind of online group and you feel a hesitation to act and you can tell that something is wrong, especially if it endangers other people and you don't morally approve, I'm of the opinion, and maybe get a second opinion on this before just listening to me, doing something and getting wrong is better than doing nothing at all. I've never liked that idea of just sitting on your hands and hoping for the best. It goes against every fiber of my being. It's certainly gotten me in some trouble, but it's my consistent belief. Bologna, so basically they want the OG to take the account. Quen, yep. Okay, whoever Geoterry is, yes, I'm okay with that. Believe that Geoterry is Wendigo. They told us we'd crash and burn. They didn't even give us a chance to try and prove them wrong. I'm going to say Wendigo here. He has a team sending info for him. Bologna. He's going to do the same thing he did last time. So I want to say aside here, my experiences of the times that I talked to the former head of the zoophile police have always been pleasant. I've had no issues with the man. I've heard things, but never seen anything firsthand, and if something truly came up that put people in danger, I would first attempt to speak to him, and if we weren't able to come to an understanding, I would probably try and reach out to my friends to make the next move, but I wouldn't ignore the problem. Bologna. Pressure will build up and he'll let on more admins. Eventually he'll be forced to choose and he'll quit. Well, we'll burn that bridge when we get there, Bologna. Bologna, you sold out. Quen, for the good of ZP, we've already benefited. Bologna, you benefited, you mean Quen. Yes, you, being zoophile police. Are you salty? Bologna, no, I frankly don't care. I care more about the stuff I'm finding out about Shiloh. Well, more about the people that they associate with. 89 files and counting. I care more about this rabbit hole. Dear Bologna, if you decide to come after me, from what I've understood, our dear friend Leo's finding out more and more about you, and I'll bet you dollars to donuts I have a better chin than you do. I would suggest you walk away. Anyways, I find it quite odd that Shiloh would be buddy-buddy with people in top of the barrel. To my best of my understanding, they get along with some of the people in the room. I wasn't in the impression that Patch was on super best terms, or they're in fact not in that room as far as I understand it. You know, where members were blank to suicide. Bologna, if you think you're in control at all, you're wrong. Quintoki, say it. Say it to him, no balls. I could only wonder where Quintoki got the no balls from. I have suspect I'm imagining LioConvoy and their DMs while they're typing this. Maybe it's just my own crazy crackpot theory. Bologna, who, Leo? Quintoki, yeah. Bologna, I don't have him added. Quintoki, no balls, no voice. Woof. I like this character. Quen, you could come hang out. You should come do pods with us. Bologna, Quen, all you have are petty insults and dares. You're nothing. You were always the weakest of us. Oh, that is some bullshit. Quintoki, also, he said, my information is all public. Hi. Let us continue. Oh, also, Leo never made bets on someone's suicide. That person was trying to manipulate them using suicide, and they stopped falling for it. Instead, clowned them for it. Okay, bye. 1%. I don't get the 1% thing, but anyways. Oh, by the way, here's Psychot, I think that's Bologna, trying to dox LioConvoy with an accomplice. I've heard about this. This is it's interesting. Quintoki, right. Bologna, trust me. Before Quen starts screenshotting the nudes I sent. Wait, what? I forgot about that, to be honest. Laughed my ass off. This is from Bologna. An accomplice of mine went after Leo, and he thinks it's me. Well, that sounds like a mess. Bologna, if you would like to come forward and explain this. That's, feels like a bit of a yikes. Here we are. Razor Pimp, it's Thomas above what you can afford. LioConvoy, probably. And certainly above what you can afford. Razor Pimp, couldn't contact me on your main, could you, pussy? Leo, since you know you're not all that bright. Razor Pimp, this is my main. LioConvoy, weak. I believe this is the guy that they hired, perhaps? It's not quite explained. Razor Pimp, how's the family going? LioConvoy, doing well. Kids can be a pain, though. How about yours? Oh, wait, you don't have any. Nice flexing, boys. Razor E-Pimp, is it the one that works at the hospital? How's she doing? Wow, it's pretty creepy right there, friendo. LioConvoy, doing well. Memorial Herman is doing great for her. Razor Pimp, good. We'll be around to see you around, friend. Good night. I was led to believe that LioConvoy had talked things out with the individual behind that. Hopefully he can show up and expand more on that. I hadn't been involved in any of the doxing, which is per my usual. Holy crap. Oof. Mega oof.
But I want to give some background. Jazz used to be part of the server I'm in called Top of the Barrel. She'd regularly want sympathy and pity about the hardships in her life instead of actively working to fix them. After a while, we all found out she was a snake, and she got the boot.
Jazz, from what I gathered, is one of the people who posts inanely about being blacklisted, whining about her boyfriend, not giving her enough lovin', not being able to get a date, which is funny because this is a post after the boyfriend post. Being on the verge of suicide, let's see, September 1st. Having the balls to tell people to get help, only to post about it on the 3rd. Being on the verge of suicide. Let's Let's read this off. I can't do this anymore. I constantly feel on the verge of suicide. Oh, here's another one. I haven't seen a doctor since I was 14. I'm probably doing this in reverse. I've had seizures, bled, vomited. My hair is falling out constantly. My own brother berates me and calls me retarded, mocks me. I haven't eaten in a few days. I'm losing body weight. Gee, I feel like this sounds familiar. I feel like I've heard this song and dance from somebody before. I feel worthless. Every minute I live here. I can't do this anymore. I constantly feel on the verge of suicide. Oh, that's the one before. Okay. Validation from the internet, people. Unless you're looking for help or in a very bad spot. This is from September 1st. If you were a victim, go to the police. They will help you. Don't tweet it out to garner sympathy and gain clout or anything of that sort. Do it because you're an actual victim. Yeah, you're a good person to give medical advice there. Let's get back to it, shall we? As for what clout and sympathy did Jazz garner, comfort when lots of people couldn't. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much. This is Vita's Twitter. Although it seems as though I was upset in DMs, it means a lot to me that you offered advice. Thank you. You've been so nice to me. They couldn't be bothered to respond, so again, it's possible that Jazz just made this up. I don't know. The other person would have to come forward. Now let's get back to the show.
That's the accusation she makes of me in this. Jazz says I threatened to dox her at one point because she wouldn't tell me about her boyfriend. She's not telling you that while she was 17, her boyfriend was in his mid-20s, and that she has a history of hooking up with older, abusive men.
I'd like to enter this as Exhibit A. This is from January 5th. This might not be enough for all of you, but I was told there is more. Consider this an hors d'oeuvre to the main course.
More to the point, I told her the only reason I didn't call her mother is because her mother is crazy, much like her daughter. But Jazz isn't capable of representing reality accurately. Moving on to the others. She claims I posted on Kiwi Farms with no evidence. She claims that I run Barrel because her friend that owns it is having problems.
I have no knowledge of LioConvoy having a Kiwi Farms account. Additionally, the only evidence I guess one could vaguely infer of LioConvoy running Barrel is everyone over there seems more chill lately. So, if some way, somehow, Leo's master plan is, I guess, what, make things nicer? I'm waiting for the downside? Question mark?
It's Vita. And the only problem he's having is a chronic case of laziness. She goes on further to claim that I've doxed multiple children, again without evidence, and that I had doxed a 13-year-old because she wouldn't get off the internet.
Now, I'd like to weigh in on this. I'm not a doctor, I don't hang out with this guy anymore, but if Jazz is saying that everyone but Vita is off harassing people, and the worst of all is LioConvoy, in what world is Vita the more even-tempered one? I like a good hustle, but even for a dumb brony/furry, that kind of breaks my suspension of disbelief. Anyone who disagrees with me in the comments, I'd love to hear how this one explained to me.
No, you dummy! That's not what happened. The child in question was Raven Duststraws, a 13-year-old that had previously gotten mixed up with predators and couldn't stay away from older people. I had every intention of calling her parents to keep her safe, you mental infant.
Raven Duskstraws was a 13-year-old. They were pretty cool. However, they did keep putting themselves in harm's way. Leo, to, I guess, all our eternal shame, was not the one to have Raven pulled offline. If we need a hint on who that was, it was the same person who got the ball rolling on the Lou the Kitty operation. But let's not get distracted. Let's just get straight to the facts here.
Them later. Jazz also claims that Patch told her she was lying about the abuse she'd suffered. Here's the actual screenshot wherein no such thing was actually said. She also claims that when she joined Patch's server, that I saw her and convinced Patch to remove her. That's not what happened. Jazz saw I was there and messaged Patch about me being a big ol' meanie, accusing me of telling her to assault her mom and other such nonsense. She did this in other servers too, by the way. All of this will be listed in the Google Doc below.
I won't say whose server, it's just someone I deeply care about had Jazz in there. My own personal experience was that when I got out of the hospital with a twisted small intestine, well, that's what I went in for. Things got resolved. I'm alive. Jazz flooded the room with top of the barrel people. I was a half hour away from home. I assure you, the person I didn't want in there the most was Vita. I've been able to bury the hatchet to some form and degree with most members of the barrel. Much to my detriment, I can't strongly tell people enough that V is a worthless, selfish, conniving fuck who gauges the system, up to and using one of my exes to go after me, going back to bandwagoning her after she was all used up. And let me be clear, I'm not suggesting that person isn't a nightmare. There is no alternative version of that fact. In fact, strictly from a personal experience, and I stress that, the only times Jazz has ever pissed me off has been in regards to Vita. Again, my own experiences.
What I did tell her was that since she doesn't want to call the cops, if her mother tries to physically hurt her, she should fight back. Self-defense isn't the same as assault. But you're a habitual liar, Jazz. Here's the fun part, though. Jazz also told Bologna that Patch drew bestiality porn when Jazz does so herself.
So we've gotten to the major concern of the video. I've constantly said I don't really consider drawn content to be the real thing. Vita does, and Vita is nowhere to be found as far as Jazz is concerned. It's almost like his set of morals are arbitrary rules, where if he likes you, or he hasn't used you up yet, you're okay, and if you're not, boy are you in for some trouble. I need go no further than bringing up the time that Vita was literally going to let one of his members of his chat get away with owning child pornography, because he wasn't done using his services yet.
And from that, because I also didn't enter this video once I get around to it. Well, we do confront him on all this. And he does take it on the chin. He admits, yeah, I fucked up. I was being a dumbass. I was desperate, yada yada. And he seemed like he was taking responsibility for it. And the kids, mind you, were only 3 years under him at absolute most. So it's not like it's unreasonable on a, well, depending on your, what your line is. It's not too unreasonable on a moral level. Legally, he's fucked. But, I was willing just to give him eternal shit for this and mock him over this rather than just flat out yeet him out and make a video.
But I just got off track there. Let's get back into this.
She also has a 13-year-old that's her best friend. Jazz is 18 now, and has apparently allowed this child access to her NSFW room in her server before someone intervened, and has no problem drawing porn commissions while in call with said 13-year-old and streaming. Good background check, Bologna, you simp.
So let's talk about this one. I do not like Jazz, but I'm not looking to start moving goalposts. That I won't be able to uphold consistently in the future, but I think I can still get you, Jazz. Originally, I thought about what you did is maybe being akin to an 18-year-old buying cigarettes for like maybe a 16 or 17-year-old friend. Not the best look in the world, but it would be a far step from becoming a complete social pariah. But then I really thought about it. Had Jazz been sharing porn with a 16 or 17-year-old, I'd be glad to yell at her, but I highly doubt Jazz would be all that influential in being the only source of getting it to those friends. I think we can all agree, at those years, if we wanted porn at that age, and keep in mind, when I was 16, 17, I didn't have the internet at my fingertips like all you 16 and 17-year-olds did. I actually had to go out looking for it, but again, let's not get off track here. However, Jazz, let's talk about intent. Jazz, if we take your values at face, you consider feral artwork to be bestiality. You shared drawn artwork with a 13-year-old, literally the youngest a teen can be, whose mind is young and still impressionable, at best, at very best, if I were to be super generous, and I don't know why I would want to be. What you did was to open a door into what we would probably say is advanced pornography. And again, I'm stressing if I were inclined to be obscenely charitable to what you did. As opposed to Jazz, who, if you took her word on what this is, you peddled animal abuse as a means to normalize and desensitize a child's burgeoning values. Now, if you feel I'm being unfair for everyone who's ever mocked Digibro for formally advocating for Lolicon, can you imagine if Digibro at the end of one of his pro-lolly videos that he used to make, I don't know, I think he stopped, turned to you in the audience and said, "And to all my 13-year-old fans, here are the following websites that have the easiest of access." I think everyone would be screaming their ass off to put him on a sexual offenders watch list. Whether or not he was interested in kids or not, because at that point he would present a clear and present danger to children. Jazz has falsely accused people who are going out of their way to protect kids, and has actively pushed back on people trying to correct her behavior, and does things that advocates for fetishizing animal abuse, at least by her standards. Tempting as that may be, fortunately for Jazz, you are not a doctor. Your stupidity for today will save you this one more time. In the past, we've dealt with people like Andrea Dash or Alacor for not being strict enough for locking down their rooms from kids. I want to play this clip here from Shelly D explaining how he was going to impersonate a child in a server on our request to see if they would grant that kid access to porn.
Because we are underage, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Is it okay if we have access to these NSFW rooms? Hopefully we'll get a response soon. And if we do, then that's best case scenario, right? Yes, excellent. I would love for you cute little 13-year-old, to have access to this room. That would be great. That's what I want to see. And if we can get that, then that's fucking gold. That's perfect. So there you go.
Should I hold back? How long should I hold back on releasing this, since it'll take a bit for me to edit it?
Let's wait until, give it a few days, maybe a week.
There's a series of videos on that. If you aren't done being horrified by this one, I suggest go give that a look. Don't give Jazz a pass just because she has a vagina, and just because she comes down every once in a while with a bad case of the suicides. I'm asking my audience to be smarter than Vita and see through this low-life song and dance for sympathy. Jazz is an adult now. It's time that we start treating her like one. And I'm looking at everyone still looking to her, still talking to her. Get fucked. Instead of giving a second chance to a loser, let's try and protect people who might still have a future and not throw away our time and effort on a lost fucking cause.